Greetings everyone. You're watching IPTSC. Before I discuss about the topic, I would like to talk a bit about IPTSC. It is the Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination and it is one of its kind intellectual property Olympiad with an aim to spread knowledge about IPR amongst academia and students. So to start off with, we are all living in the era of COVID-19 pandemic. And one of the things that has majorly changed for us is that everything has gone digital. Be it learning, be it teaching, be it office meetings, everything and anything, even the judiciary for that matter, had to go online and use the digital media and use the technological advancements that we have in order to stay connected and still not hampering our work schedule because of the COVID-19 pandemic since last year 2020. So one of the topics that came to my mind when I wanted to talk about intellectual property rights is that how copyright protection in the COVID-19 digital era of online teaching will be affected. So as we all know, there are a lot of materials and videos which are in the nature of teaching materials. They're being uploaded on YouTube in order to benefit the students who are not able to do well because of the online teaching. So all of this is a way that people are trying to make videos and upload it on a public platform on the platform of YouTube in order to reach as many students as they can to help them get educated in a better way and to make use of this digital media at the times of pandemic. So to start off with, intellectual property rights are one of the most significant rights which are given to a human being. So apart from all the fundamental rights as in right to live, right to equality, this intellectual property right is also as important in order to bring out the creativity of a particular human. So to keep it simple, how intellectual property rights has emerged is that when we look at a physical property, for example, I'll keep one person called A, and say he owns a particular land of so many acres. So that land can be seen, that land can be touched, and it is in a tangible form. So when he owns that particular land, he also has certain rights over it. Similarly, a question came up long ago: what about the intellect, or what about the skill and hard work that is put by a person using his brains, using his talent, and the outcome of it, how will that be protected? That is when intellectual property rights came in, which protects the intellect of a human being and thereby giving him the credit and due credit for his work, for his investment in that particular work, and his ideology, which is very unique than everyone else in the world. Now, when we talk about IPR, there are a lot of things within it. It can be patent, it can be trademark, it can be designs. But what is more relevant when we talk about YouTube teaching materials or anything or any teaching material that is put online is copyright. Now, we would have heard of copyright in a lot of ways. For example, when we're watching movies, when we're watching any YouTube video, in a disclaimer, they always mention about copyright. So it is not something that is a very aloof term to all of us, but it is a term that we have seen it in a lot of entertainment channels that we visit on a daily basis. So when we connect copyright to education materials and YouTube videos, which are posted by a particular channel, what becomes significant is that what if someone else uses the video in order to educate themselves or anything for that matter? In a normal world, copying any other work which is not done by you without taking their permission or without giving them due credit is a serious violation of copyright. Now, why I say it's a violation is because it's their work, they own it, so they deserve the credit as per the copyright law, which is universal. Therefore, in the instant case, for example, there is a channel which has uploaded a video on intellectual property rights and introduction. Now, I take that video and I upload it as mine. That would be a violation of copyright. However, when we understand that something is being violated, we need to see that it is done in a malified intention. Now, what does malified intention mean? It basically means that you are gaining something without putting your efforts and using somebody else's work. In simpler terms, it means reaping benefits of others' hard work. So that is why copyright law makes it very clear that any work that is created by a creator, be it artistic, be it literature, be it a video, or anything that is in a form where he has used his uniqueness, where he has used his ideas, it is important for him to protect his work and not let others use it very wrongfully and gaining something out of his work. Now, when we look at YouTube's policy as well, it clearly states that every channel which has uploaded an original video. Now let me pause here for a second. What does original mean? Original need not be something that is like that, it's not existent at all. Original basically means an idea which is put forward in your unique way. For instance, if I am creating a movie tomorrow, I'm sitting and writing a script for a movie. Now, there are very common storylines which are very prevalent in our society. For example, a love story, two people running away, or a mother and son fights with respect to some issue at home. So all of these are very basic ideas on which movies and novels have been made in the past. But what will give me the copyright protection is how I use this idea, how I portray the fights between a mother and a son. That will be copyrighted because that is the expression of my thinking, of my imagination. So my story would not be protected, but the way I have depicted that or portrayed that in my movie will be protected. Thus, when I talk about teaching materials also, the way the teacher has put forward her materials, it can be written notes, it can be converted into soft copy, all of that, the way she has put forward a topic will be protected and not just the topic. So that is what I mean by originality. So again, as I mentioned, in the YouTube's policy, it is clearly stated that a channel must upload their original work, which they have done on their own, and they have a right of copyright protection, so that other people cannot copy the same video. Now, to bring forward a very interesting case, it was a Delhi High Court case recently that happened, Prem Prakash Dhawan versus Aman Dhattarwal. And in this case, it was a very similar case wherein a professor's soft copy notes were put on online websites without giving him credit. Now, this is where the problem is. So, there needs to be credit given and an infringement will be sought for if it is uploaded without his permission. So, now what is possible is that I can use the video to show my students with respect to teaching material, but if it is used for educational purpose, then it is called fair use. Therefore, fair use basically means I'm not using it for my benefit. I'm using it for educational purpose. I'm using it to show it to my students to understand the topic better. And I'm also giving the due credit to the person who made the video. So I need not take the permission of the maker of the video if I'm using it for educational purpose. And which is why in digital era that we are living in right now, we can always use the uploaded materials online and someone else's copyright, and this is why it becomes very important to ensure that you are not copying it for any commercial benefit and you're only using it for fair use, which means which is reasonable and which is not violating someone else's hard work and investment that they have put in their creativity. Please like this video and share it as much as you can so that you will be enlightened with this topic in the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.